Hello? I think this is working. Alright, hello if you're stopping by, either watching live or watching later. Thanks for joining. This is the second stream that I'm doing, so probably still some bumps in the road that we're going to have to work through together. But I think we got everything set up. I'm going to be playing more of my Boomer Arcane Iyslander on Talishar in the competitive CCQ. See how the games go today. And as always, I'll be making sure to talk through my lines, trying to explain them so that it's very approachable, especially for newer players, if you want to learn how to play Iyslander in particular. So we've got the list, which I'll discuss sideboarding before each match. It's the same thing I played at Worlds. It's also pinned in the big Discord if you want to look at it there, including the sideboarding guide that I'll be using today. And we're just going to hop right in. There's no competitive CC games right now, so we will start a new one and wait to see who joins. queue might be a little slow tonight, being the day before Thanksgiving. I can see a lot of people taking a break. We should be able to find some opponents though. Might as well. Don't have a ton of license-free music, but I can queue up at least a little bit. Yeah, Levi, I don't know. I'm playing bad cards. Just I like the extra challenge. It's you know, if I played bully, it'd be too easy. So audio level's okay? Is that background music too much? I'm not sure if you can even hear it, to be honest. I think I have it mixed right. Kevin, that's the goal. I mean, we have to get an opponent first, but that may be the hardest part of the night. Absolutely Iyslander hard mode. It's the only way to play it. I enjoy my wizards feeling like wizards, not like Guardian Light. Huh. Does that change it at all, Max? Alright, well, let's not worry about it then. I'll fix that for next stream. We just get to sit here in tranquility. Actually, Iyslander is like Guardian heavy. I don't know. It's missing the fridge that Guardians are so well known for. Could hear it a minute ago. Oh, did I have it on? Well, we finally have an opponent. Viserai, we do not want to get free rune chance on turn 0, so if we win the die roll, we would definitely like to go first. There we go. Pulling up sideboarding. We can see that we take Ice Bolt out, and I will remember that it is out against Viserai this time. Last stream I had some pretty funny moments where I was talking about what I could draw as an out, and kept discussing Ice Bolt, even though it was not presented in the 60. As well as Fiondel's Fighting Spirit. While it's very efficient, it's not a blue, it does not block 3, and it doesn't do a lot in this matchup. And Sync also because, while they're efficient at blocking, they're not blues, and a lot of Viserai's damage is in the form of rune chance. And we want to be abusing Alluvian Constellus as much as possible. Lastly, we take out energy potions and 1 blue Aether Ice Fang just because we need to make a 60th cut, and all of our disruptive ice cards are very good. Equipment-wise, we go straight down the line. Constellus is absolutely cracked here, and Ironhide Gauntlet is fine because we already have the AB1. We don't need Metacarpus. That's it as far as sideboarding goes. Kevin, I was wondering if maybe you were the Viserai opponent, but if not, that's even better. We get to judge them for sure. Believe I'm ready, so let's go. Not an excellent opening hand. There's nothing to develop on the board here, so this looks like it's going to be a Coronet Peak ourselves. Need to make sure that manual targeting is on so that we can do that. What do we want to Arsenal versus peep here. Blizzards, if they're on too many lead the charges, which we saw last time, then can be pretty disappointing. So we're probably going to pitch that to Coronet Peak. Targeting ourselves. We would like to pay. And I think we're going to dump the Hail here and Arsenal Defrosting. Probably don't want to commit to Moon next turn, since Illuvian isn't up for free. Sand is what I like to call fine, not great. Probably want to fuse this Ice Fang, arsenaling the Hail. But that means that we don't have a blue to block Arcane with, just that red Aether Hail. So that might not be the play. This turn cycle may just be looking like Brain Freeze. Yeah, we might as well use the disruption window our opponent gives us. Playing Runeblood Incantation here is super interesting because our opponent has basically said, I'm going to give you an opportunity to disrupt me at the start of my action phase before I get to play anything for the next 3 turns. I'm actually pretty happy to see my opponent playing Runeblood Incantation when they're on Viserai. Choosing to take the damage there, so they've got something to do with their resources this turn. So just going to be a Shrill for 7 with no arsenal. That's pretty good. It makes me feel a lot better about this Brain Freeze as well. So we both take 1 this turn cycle, but we're going to put them to 3 cards and have an Aether Hail and Arsenal. This is pretty good for us. Especially when, we'll pitch a blue to play the Hail, and then have 2 resources for the rune chant they have, plus what they're going to make off of Incantation. Yeah, that's fair, Kevin. I know that if you are playing more of the 1-cost attacks, for sure the 1 Frostbite is probably not as impactful. Alright, so what do we get? Drawn, Meat, Mauve, and Meat. Okay, and we're going to take away their guaranteed go again. So we're super incentivized about those rune chants now so that the meet and greet that they play will not have a go again. Oh, this hand is awkward. Really awkward. We'd love to fuse that Ice Vein, either of them, but we don't really want to arsenal a Hex. I think we let this through, or we let this go. Because they're probably just swinging Meet and Greet or Drawn this turn, which means we can kind of take an off turn of just pitching this yellow Ice Vein to stop the 2 rune chants, present the fused Ice Vein, and still have Aether Hail. Yeah. They can't creep or anything because their hand is red Meet and Greet and blue Meet and Greet, so this is going to be leaked 3 damage, present a fused Aether Hail. Does Talishar not give priority window when Seismic Surges pop? Seems like when I play Bravo, I just get freebies with Seismics. We definitely do get priority windows. Your opponents may not have always hold priority on maps, which could explain why they're just auto-passing. Oh, they drew the Mavrian. That's right. Drawn draws a card. Checks out. So they'll have an action point after this, and their meet and greet will have go again. They have 2 resources, so they can play the meet and greet with the frostbite. They'd have to pitch this. No, they'd just be done after that. They can't swing Rosetta. Yeah, this seems not good, but it seems like it blocks a lot of damage to play this hail. It's hard to get Viserai. Yeah, I missed the card draw on drawn. That's pretty important. But also this is stopping them from dealing arcane this turn cycle, so they just gave up creepers for what seems like a pretty suboptimal play. Yeah, I agree, Max. This is so early for creepers, especially when they didn't actually deal arcane this turn. So it's kind of awkward that we're going to be Iyslander red here when our opponent has 4 cards and 2 rune chants, but we can give them 2 cards next turn cycle pretty easy, as long as we draw a blue and an ice card. We're just going to pass an end turn. Perfect. This hand's actually fantastic. Don't have any responses to the incantation. Kinda want to get greedy and only block with 1 card here so I can have red icing into red icing. Is this about to play Belittles? What's up with all these drawings? Yeah, no responses. We're gonna stop arcane. I think we're early enough that I want to get this chill down. So let's keep the blocking cards in hand. Did they just attack with meet and greet and not Rosetta to save boots and arsenal? No, they lost boots. They should have attacked with Rosetta, yes. They still wouldn't have dealt arcane, but they would have had the red meet and greet to arsenal. Because I have AB2 and I had 2 resources floating. Right. I think they just bricked on this turn cycle though, because no, they did have the lead. I can't count. Apologies that I'm playing kind of slow. It's a new skill I'm learning to juggle chat in the game. There's no on hit because this was not Mavri and it was lead, so I'm not super concerned about the vanilla 3 damage. Let's see what they have as follow-up is the real question. Just a shrill. Yeah, we'll prefer to stop rune chants since we have 1 float. I'm here to learn, Levi. Seems like a fun challenge. If I turn desktop audio off, there you should be able to hear all the little Talishar clicks now. So if I want to develop this chill, I'm not just going to let this red ice vein sit in hand for a turn cycle, so I think we're going to cash in the 3 block here. And not be excessively greedy. There really is an argument to arsenal the cold snap. Only down 10 life, this is pretty good. There's an argument to Arsenal the Cold Snap this turn cycle because they still have Runeblade Incantation. And so we just get a free priority window to demand that their arsenal be frozen or they pay us. But with only 2 real Ice Veins down, I think I want to get this chill on the board. Choosing to block AB and discarding. Huh. I showed them a big expensive card. Ooh, drawing into the CLF. Nice. Our tunic is up. But our next turn cycle probably is still just Coronet. Unless we get fancy with like Cold Snap. We would like to tax them, because we definitely want to get the chill down this turn. We're not arsenaling with Polar Blast and Cold Snap, so I'm okay with pitching the least impactful of the two. I was trying to have a hand that didn't do anything, huh? They're at 0 float and they have a frostbite, so we're gonna push 3 damage here. With our handy dandy wand. Oh, sorry. Missed waiting on priority there. Now, there's a temptation to block physically this Shrill with this Ice Eternal, but the value that we get from the first Kinstalis counter here means that it's actually worth way more damage, way more than 3 total damage to pitch it to AB. So even though we're going to end the turn with the resource floating and take 5 from the Shrill, it's a much better damage proposition for us. I'm gonna pass blocks and reacts, take 5. Our turn is going to be Coronet, Arsenal CLF. Coronet not ideal here. Probably just eats our opponent's Tunic counter. But the fact that we're arsenaling a CLF means that we're pretty insulated from whatever they try to do on the next turn. Especially when we're going to get to respond to their incantation with the CLF. Yeah, I'm just going to pay with Tunic. Beautiful. I would love to respond. Yeah. So the 2 resources that we blocked damage with obviously is 2. And then the last resource is 1.5 damage from Waning Moon. So yeah, the math works out to 3.5, Levi. They're playing another incantation. They didn't learn their lesson the first time. Go ahead. Oh man, and then just Rosetta. This is kind of awkward. We actually don't have any arcane to prevent on this turn cycle. We haven't seen a ton of Mahrian skies, have we? Just the one yellow. I wonder if they're on reds? Is a temptation to... No, I still have a card in hand and a resource float. We're not paying to swing Moon. Hypo is very good. I'm sorry, Levi. Yeah, I know this is YouTube, but no Twitch emotes. Just a little easier on my end, especially for saving the VODs permanently. So we have an interesting question here. Do we Arsenal Hypo or Aether Hail? Hail pushes damage. Hypo, I would say for sure shuts down their turn now that creepers are gone. But that's not so much guaranteed with having seen lead the charge from Viserai, which is very robust against hypothermia because it's just action points, it's not actual go again. So we're not going to get anything through damage-wise on this turn cycle because they have a card and a resource float, so Moon probably doesn't do anything. We'll Coronet, pitching this Hypo to keep Channel Lake around, Arsenal this Aether Hail, and push damage on our opponent's next turn, hopefully. Because this does take a card away. They both don't have a Tunic counter up, and CLF is out, so they couldn't use it even if they wanted to. Taking Mordred Tide makes sense. We'll end the turn. Channel and Arsenal. Oh, come on, deck. I need a fused Aether Ice Vein. Command and Conquer is acceptable. It's kind of awkward. We're not going to be able to keep Channel Lake out. Yeah, we just have no way of pitching two Ice Blues with a hand like this. They're just playing Amplify. Interesting. Let's push. They lost 2 life from the hail. I'm very confused about what's in their hand, that they're sandbagging essentially 2 cards this turn cycle. Yeah, but then we don't have... I missed that. It's a good point, Levi. It does seem very below rate. I would much rather just play this Command and Conquer, I think, since that's also at least a card worth of disruption. Are we going to take 6 here so I can Arsenal this Ice Bolt? Probably. Probably want the Frostbite tax because Channel Lake is going to stay out. You could cash in Ironhide here. There's no on hit. But it's +2 life on a turn where we wouldn't spend the resource. This might be very greedy. Still in a comfortable life range, and this is guaranteed to take at least 1 card for them by eating their arsenal. Just choosing to eat it. Ooh, they arsenaled a Looming Tomb. It's one of the newer cards from Dynasty. Not sure how relevant it is in this matchup. It's both very expensive at 3 cost. It eats all your rune chance. And I have Arcane Barrier 2, so it's not guaranteed to leak damage. Opponent also acknowledging that it's more awkward than good in Arsenal. That's pretty funny. There's a fused Ice Vein. It will get over their AB. Again, not an ideal hand. Okay. Well, don't really want to let them do anything after this Mordred Tide uninterrupted. What do we pitch in here? We could fuse the Ice Vein Arsenal Red Hail. It's very dangerous because Hail isn't disruptive at all. But I don't really know what all our alternative is here. Ice Vein will take 2 cards anyways, so it'll buy us some breathing room. We're not gonna get this second chill down. And now we just have to hope that they don't revel us. Losing 2 life, keeping 2 floating, that's pretty scary. Try to maintain some health through this turn since you have 3 counters on chill. This is a swarming. It's all modes active? Question mark. Okay, no, it's just a 0 for 4. Go again. Yeah, they've made 2 this turn. That seems like a 3 block here. You gotta maintain some health through this turn since you have 3 counters on chill. And they're gonna swing Rosetta and have an arsenal. Yeah, maybe the play here is to Arsenal Cold Snap, Coronet with Ice Vein, block with Hail. So they're gonna take a significant amount of damage this turn. 6 from the Rosetta Thorn and 1 here. Seems rough. Oh my god. Yeah, that's pretty good. Oh, and their Tunic is up. Coordinating them next turn probably is not the best. Man, that was it's a pretty good hand here from Viserai. Is the play arsenaling the blue Ice Vein and ripping 2 cards on their turn? It's not pitching for Arcane anymore. This Swarming is going to hit, and all 3 modes are now active, which means we won't be able to stop the Arcane from the Rosetta Thorn. First Moonveil was only 2 modes. Oh, This is a Mordred tide turn. You're right. Yeah, I can't stop arcane. Awkward. Yep. So if we coronet next turn, put them to 3. Need to have an arsenal. So we're looking at 4, 4, 8, 10 more damage this turn. Oh my god. I think we are not having an arsenal this turn cycle, unfortunately. Because I'm not thrilled about going to 5. What am I on about? I have tunic. We're not coronating them. We're still somehow within 8 life of our opponent, which seems... Oh, within 10 life of our opponent, which seems wild. That was a huge turn. Coronet doesn't do anything. They don't have an arsenal, so this Cold Snap is pretty underwhelming, but it still forces them to start the turn with a Frostbite. Heart of Findle pretty huge here. As is drawing a card and fusing this red Ice Vein. Blizzard's a little awkward to Arsenal. Maybe we'll draw into a better Ice Blue. But this is how we recover. Alright, they want Tunic Insulation. This turn's probably going to be pretty big. It's a good thing we're at 9 and not 8, right? Ooh, nice. Alright, I need them to present a inconsequential first attack for me to Blizzard, and then we'll be golden. Oh, did they walk back the Tunic activation? Interesting. Don't really have any response. Mordred, Blue Drawn, and Sonata, so they got a blue to hand after out of that. We will prevent the arcane. Which means Waning Moon is now live. Yeah, this is pretty good. Is this gonna be a Shrill? Ooh, no, it's gonna be the Blue Drawn. We have 2 resources floating and Tunic. The Blizzard is not incredibly impressive here. So if they pay for all the Blizzard and then pitch their last card to swing Rosetta, we live 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'd be at 2. Not fantastic. We can block Coronet on the drawn. Don't see much other way to do it though. We're activating Tunic. We really want to stop that on hit because there are 3 more rune chants stapled onto this. They drew a card off of drawn, which could be problematic. And they have 2 resources free. Winning Moon only pushes 1 damage here. We're going to take 5 and go to 3. This is pretty rough. We're going to put them to 3 cards next turn with this Ice Vein. Plus Chill. But this game is not looking great. Primarily because of that Mordred Tide turn. Deck's also been a bit uncooperative, to be honest. Took a long time to find a reasonable fused Ice Vein after developing that Chill when we were at, I think, just sub 30 life. But we have come back from larger life deficits than this. I probably wasn't supposed to activate Constellus there, Levi. We need to get opponent dead. Even doing it here would likely have been 2 damage. Because I hadn't thought of that. That's a great observation. For all you viewers interested in learning Iyslander, this is awesome because you get the combined brain power of Levi and I, where we get to point out all the mistakes I'm making as well. If I discarded, opponent goes to 12 with 3 cards, no rune chance. We get to respond to the Rune Blood incantation. Oh man, this hand's a whole lot of do nothing. This is really awkward. We want to hold the brain freeze here. And they're just blindly flipping Sonata? Interesting. Very good at hitting their Sonatas. I imagine they take Spellblade Assault here, and they hope that they have a attack and arsenal. They took Red Shrill. Interesting. They can't play it this turn, so they're probably just going to swing Rosetta Thorn. We are going to prevent the damage. And if they swing Rosetta, we're going to Moon and block with this Chill that we are not getting down. Then we can Brain Freeze them, take 2 cards, Arsenal Blizzard, and hopefully hold a fused Ice Vein. Yep. If our deck will cooperate with us. We're out of reds. We've pitched 1 yellow. There's still 2 yellows and several blues left in the deck. Hopefully they have more than 1-0. It's going to be very awkward if they don't. There's a bit of a anti-synergy here if you're newer to Iyslander. So the instead is chill, because that Ice Fuse is triggering before Brain Freeze. Our opponent gets to choose to pay or discard before I get to see their hand. They do discard a blue, a 0 cost. But they have 0 costs left in hand. Revel is, okay, so this is interesting. This is really interesting. Revel can very easily kill me if they have a lead the charge and they don't care about this blizzard. Read the runes is a slower burn, but it'll set them up for a larger turn later. We have seen, I haven't been paying close enough attention to the pitch on if they have been binning lead the charges. I think I want to take Revel here, because if they're robust to the blizzard, we just die. That's a good way to get blizzards stuck in Arsenal if their turn is like, just read the runes. They're at 10. We're getting very close to lethal range. I think we're gonna yoink Revel, see if we can bait them into a slower turn cycle, and hopefully get to fuse this Ice Vein. It's important to note that that Revel and Runeblade just goes back on top of their deck. It's not discarded or banished, so they'll have it next turn cycle, which means we need to be prepared for it next turn cycle. We have Mograine Strides here. Blizzard's pretty good then. Interesting, so they're playing that effectively just... Was there a possible Arsenal card that lets them use the Revel? Levi, I'm a doofus. I forgot to look at what the non-zero cost cards in their hand were. It probably could have informed what we took there a lot better. Because they played Mavrian. Blue Spellblade Assault is their last card in hand here. Okay. This is interesting, so we can play the Amulet and then play the Ice Vein and rip 3 of their cards, as well as push 2 damage. It's going to strand us with an Aether Hail in hand. They have a Revel in hand and a blue Spellblade Assault in hand. Man, Arsenal this Blizzard has come back to bite us quite a bit. I don't know that we have an alternative line here, aside from like overpitching to get this Red Hail out of hand, but it's a relatively good kill card. The alternative is just playing the Ice Vein, pitch Bros, reveal Amulet, pitch Amulet to Moon, which prevents 6 arcane. Only 2 is guaranteed delete through, but then we can do 7 more. Our opponent's turn. I think we went to lunge for the kill here, so we're going to present 6 arcane here and 7 on their turn, instead of playing the Amulet and developing our board. Attack with Blue Bros and Blizzard your own attack is an option. That is an option. I can't imagine taking that as a line. It's a bold idea, Levi. Maybe if we had a Quicken token. But unfortunately, this Viserai is not playing Coach the Commotion. Oh man, this was a blue heavy hand. They lost two. Let's push some more. This is super awkward that the opponent knows. Okay, they go to sips. If they present... We have to see what they do with their hand. This might be a bit awkward for us. This might be very awkward for us. Oh, this is really bad. We have Revel in hand plus Unknown. Yeah, I guess they pitched two blues. Oh, so they have a red in hand and tunic. That's a chill, now you win here. We can present 7 arcane. They have a red and tunic. How do we have lethal here? 4, 5, 6, 7. -2 is only 5. Blizzard then kill after Frostbite resolves. What? Or kill in response to Tunic. Interesting. We have to make sure that we have enough resources in hand. It only costs 2 essentially, because Moon is free from Constellus. If we pitch Bolt here, we have the 2 resources. We go to 2. This is greedy. I'm waiting to be able to play my Blizzard. Oh. I definitely was supposed to be able to Blizzard in the layer step. Is that a bug in Talishar, I wonder? Well, here goes nothing. Yeah, I believe we were, Levi. We should have been. Opponent has let both frostbites resolve. They can no longer activate Tunic. They could have activated Tunic in response to the first one, in which case we fire the kill at that point, and then they still only have one resource available. So we had to be a little tricky with it. The layering of frostbites and our arcane spells is very important this turn. But we did in fact get there, although it was pretty sketchy. There's no, well, clean wins as Iyslander are hard to come by. A lot of games are exactly like this, right? You will win at 2, or just by the skin of your teeth. I don't know that I would call that one easy, but it was definitely entertaining, and I definitely leaned on y'all a little bit. So thank you, chat, specifically Levi. Let's jump right back in. Definitely a little sloppy play that game. We'll try to tighten it up as we get deeper into the stream. No intention to stop. Oh my. So I ought to lose this one, right, Levi? I've heard that this is a terrible matchup for Iyslander. Let me pull up how you told me to sideboard. It's the very last thing on the list. Oh crap, it's you! Alright chat, it's us versus Levi. I don't want to give the ranger a free arsenal. Alright, Papaya, I better see you out of my chat. No stream sniping, please. So, don't want to play Fiendl's Fighting Spirit. We want to really lean into Arcane. I'm out of stream, so you have to deal with my backseating for one game. Alright. But what if I enjoy your backseating, Levi? Your backseating is the reason I won that last game. We take out one amulet because it doesn't block. And Azalea is so light on blues that the hand tax doesn't really matter. And then we take out our go again cards because she doesn't really go again. Of course we take out epots because they're essentially combo cards. We play the standard equipment suite. It's not really a lot of arcane shenanigans that happen here. Ah, beautiful. This hand is awesome. We get to play the chill. And we get to arsenal a sink below and hold this ice vein, which we will try to fuse on the opening turn. So we'll pitch the Brain Freeze and pass. We'll then move to end the turn and arsenal. Arsenaling D-React's pretty important here because Azalea is pitching Deadeye, but presenting Death Dealer. Interesting. Azalea is a dominate deck, and so we want to have as much insulation from those tall things that we can only block with one card from hand. We're going to get E-Strike mode is go again. Into the headshot, presumably. Interesting. Going at least 11 wide this turn. This headshot has +2 because it was put into arsenal face up. We want to get a little greedy. We're going to sink this Emeritus and try to draw into a more interesting ice blue to arsenal on our next turn cycle. That's a much more interesting ice blue to arsenal in our next turn cycle. Headshot is essentially vanilla 6 here. We could block 3 with the Hex, or we could present 2 arcane damage from Waning Moon on our turn. Let me do the math real fast. I'm pretty sure blocking with it is a little bit more damage efficient. So I think that's what we're going to do. Levi, you lied. I thought you said Azalea didn't go again. It's everyone's favorite card, Channel Lake Frigid. It's very early in the game too. Stick one on the board. This is exactly what we need to have a reasonable match. So we already ate one of Azalea's relatively few blues with the Insidious Chill Trigger. It'll be interesting to see blocking arcane damage. Okay. Losing life and then discarding a yellow bolt and shot. This must be a particularly resource heavy hand. Let's give up a blue and a yellow like that. This is awkward. It's kind of funny, but it's awkward, so slightly more than Guardian, yeah. We're pretty happy here to just block Sips, leave one, and go to the next turn cycle. We have no ice card in hand, so playing the Channel 8 Frigid actually isn't a good value proposition. It's kind of funny that it works out that way because we get to send this Command and Conquer, threaten our Ranger opponent's arsenals. I don't know if you've heard, Rangers really enjoy having arsenals, so this card's especially nasty in this matchup. It's kind of disappointing we saw two in the same hand. But delaying Channel 8 Frigid for another turn is really nice because now Tunic is at 3, and one blue, oh my, and one blue will now play the Channel 8 Frigid and send Waning Moon, which is just a really good value proposition for us. We ate 3 of our opponent's cards, 3 read the glide paths in particular, which is pretty hilarious. This is just a bolt and shot from Arsenal. It does not have power greater than its base, so it does not have go again. So we're looking at literally just 3 damage. Again, a hand that doesn't have any ice cards. This is super awkward. We're playing a whopping 32. Somebody do the odds on that for me. I don't even know what we do. We just send Unfused Yellow Ice Vein and Waning Moon on our turn? It's so awkward. One of the most interesting Ranger games I've played. Just because, like, essentially nothing's happening on either side. This is definitely abnormal. But now Azalea is a 5-card hand. Oh, I was playing around it poorly. Well, it turns out you didn't have to play around it, Levi. Hey, here's some ice cards, and some damn good ones at that. This is really awkward that he has the Seek and Destroy. But that just means that we're going to block with this blue bros. Yeah. Triggering Tunic. And we're going to send red Ice Bolt on our turn, pitching blue Aether Hail. Because whatever arrow this Seek and Destroy is stapled onto, almost certainly is going to hit. Definitely is going to hit. So we're not going to be able to arsenal a card next turn, even if we wanted to. No worries. This is for a whopping 8, and we're gonna block 2 because I made a terrible decision and pitched Frost Hex instead of Brothers in Arms. Yeah, because Waning Moon is just free damage here. Oh, no, 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 that's not what I meant to do. I was trying to activate it as an instant. Just want to point out this is really sloppy play. I should not have pitched Hex. I should have pitched Bros. Since I want to push Waning Moon this turn. And we can kind of map out, I need to play the Ice Bolt on our turn. Oh no, I only get 1 action next turn. It's a shame. My deck wants to play so many actions every turn cycle. There's so much go again. Oh wait. I'm a wizard. We play 1 non-attack action every turn. Oh wow, just eating it. I guess, yeah, like I said, it was so light on pitch. It needs 5 cards to do most anything through a CLF. Ravenous. Reveals, take aim. What do we do on our turn? I think on our turn, we're definitely keeping Channel Lake out, just trying to decide how. Play Amulet, pitch to Moon, pitch to Coronet, pitching the 2 Ice Bolts, arsenaling Ice Eternal. Or play Ice Eternal, pitching Ice Bolt, and then fusing with... No, we don't really want to fuse. Burns a Chill trigger. We're no blocking this Ravenous is what we're for sure doing. I think we're playing the Amulet, pitching to Moon, pitching to Coronet. And just waiting to draw a Ice Vein essentially. So this is for 8. That's quite a bit of damage. It's not dominated. We're guaranteed going to put our opponent to 3 cards next turn. And Ice Eternal doesn't really do a whole lot from Arsenal, so I think I'm happy to not have an Arsenal next turn cycle between Coronet and Channel Lake. We also get to play a little bit of mind games with our opponent here, where by activating Waning Moon, we may not, well, Levi's very versed with Iyslander, so he probably doesn't fall for the trick here. Yeah, just choosing to lose life. I'm a fool. I am under the effect of Red in the Ledger. I was just joking about, oh my god. Just joking about how we don't go again in this deck, and I found a prime example of where we do want to use Go again, and it's going to kill this Channel 8 Frigid. That is definitely egg on my face, especially considering that we could have kept the CLF out with the Ice Eternal. Like I said, I'm just playing sloppy tonight. We want to fuse this Ice Fang. We also want to keep the Channel 8 Frigid, but the red Hail is inconvenient. I think we're going to let him start his turn how he wishes. Fatigue shot, I'm not super interested in. Seek and destroy is important. Okay. 2, 3. So we're not going to get this Channel Lake out, which is pretty huge. Instead, we are now incentivized to pitch it to the Aether Ice Vein so it stays in the deck, which means we're going to play this Ice Bolt now to threaten Arcane and tax this fatigue shot by one more resource. Yeah, and that strips the whole hand. Sigil of Solace, that's good to know for when I go to do kill math. This is a whopping 8 that we are going to take 6 of. Our turn, we're going to push 7 and strip a lot of cards from our opponent. Potentially this is an amulet turn. Depends on if what happens after we activate Waning Moon here. Yeah, if we're both going to be at 10, I would like my opponent to essentially not have a turn next turn. I imagine at 1 card, it's Arsenal Pass. Did have a blue. Oh, they're about to fire an arrow for 5. Hey, that's a really good arrow. We went to block 5 Coronet and Arsenal Emeritus here. Specifically, hold on. We want to... Yeah, it's not worth losing a life to turn on Heart of Fyendel, because we don't have anything we can do with the Insidious Chill on our next turn if we sandbag it and don't block with it. So we're missing out on the heart value, but anytime that heart isn't on, it's kind of just fine. We're winning anyways. And we have one of our best kill spells now in Arsenal. The issue is we are getting pretty low in life. And Azalea, as I mentioned earlier, is a very good dominate deck. Bullseye bracers. So giving up half of the AV. We have a red Ice Bolt in hand. 4 guaranteed, 7 guaranteed, 8, 9 guaranteed. We actually do not have confirmed kill unless they show that we this is 5 go again. It's pretty good. I'm really inclined to say no blocks here. Want our opponent to drain their hand of resources. He gets to reload off of this on hit, but chooses not to. Ugh. Okay. So here's the thing. We have to respond now before Death Dealer if we want to. Opponent has guaranteed 3 resources. If he draws into a buff, then we can't fuse this Ice-Fin anymore, but we can still present a... Yeah, this is fine. We can let him resolve. It was indeed a red. This is for 6. We're at 5. If he has Rain Razors and tries to kill us, we win. Otherwise we take 4 go to 1. And probably win. Not showing our opponent the red Ice Bolt, which is kind of the key to victory here. But we have essentially guaranteed lethal at this point. This Aether Ice-Fin yellow will push 3. Moon will push 1. And we're about to threaten a lot of damage on Azalea's turn. With only AB1. Nothing they can do except have Sigil of Solace, which he's shown that he does have by pitching. So we need to make sure to try to work around that in our lethal math, which means we need to present 9. We have more than enough resources too. And they only have 1 card in hand. Yep, this is GG's. It was a Rain Racers. Going out in style, Levi. That was an interesting one. I am relatively low on reps against what I would consider like really solid Azalea players that know the deck inside out, so that one had me sweating a little bit. We definitely got very close to just dying to a Rain Razors at the end there. It was pretty scary. Yep. Thank you, Andrew. Always fun to get the kill with the red Ice Bolt. I just feel like I have to defend it a lot, but it's very useful. GG Levi, welcome back. That was a very strange game, Levi, because I flashed you that CLF from the fuse. We both knew it was in my arsenal, and then in the next 8 cards, there were 0 ice cards, despite despite the deck having 32 in that 60. I then also nearly threw the game when I forgot. You know, I just remember that Red in the Ledger doesn't really do anything to us because we have very little go again. And then I needed to get that CLF to 2 flow counters, and I played Amulet of Ice and pitched Moon, and then was like, wait, why can't I activate Cornet Peak? That was pretty awkward to realize that and discuss it with chat. Any tips for Fi matchup? How is that matchup for us? It's interesting, Philip. It's what I like to call one of the classic like 40% matchups where no one really feels good about it. Dash we want to go first. We don't want them to get free items. You need to play pretty conservatively. Like, push damage where you can. It ends up playing very similar to Viserai, where the disruption frequently is more important than pushing damage. Run the Ledger, OP. It is super OP, Levi. Oh, I should probably be sideboarding, huh? For Dash, don't like CNC, because we play the standard equipment. We don't like CNC, all their cards block 3, and their cards are pretty linear damage-wise, so putting them from 5 to 4 doesn't do a ton. Blue Aether Ice Vein, they're almost guaranteed to have AB3, and they have a relatively high number of blues, so not super impressed with that card. We cut the 2 E-Pots. Did I miss something? Fiendel's Fighting Spirit, yep, like I said, all their cards block very efficiently. And we need one more cut, so it's Blue Brain Freeze. They do have a reasonable number of 0 costs, especially with playing 9-0 to 60s. But Brain Freeze is almost more important for this matchup simply to know what their hand is. You could definitely see the argument for... it's be interesting to see what item they start with here. I definitely see the argument for cutting Brain Freeze over Ice Vein. FYI, your email has just been showing you Excel sheet. That's, thank you for the heads up. I think it's fine. Maybe we will stop showing that, though, just in case. Starting with Founder, this is going to be a wild ride. It's okay, though. We get to arsenal this Polar Blast, hold a block 4 in the form of Brothers in Arms, and play this Insidious Chill on turn 0. Oh! Oh my! This is a... Construct Dash, huh? Well, we get to develop our board and arsenal a very low risk. Oh! Yeah, they're loading pistol. They're attacking with throttle and boosting. This is for 7. I really don't want to play any of the cards in this, pitch any of the cards in this hand because they're all good. They did boost. I guess we have the sync to fix any bad cards. I hope they play the mech suit Levi because I'm pretty unimpressed with it versus Iyslander so far. Draw the same card that we pitched. That's hilarious. We're gonna spend the sync here on this throttle, but not sync. Pretty happy with this hand. I hope we have a mech suit incoming. Like 3. Opponent pitching to pistol. Oh, it's a shame. Only push 1 here. Yeah, I doubt that they're actually executing the mech plan in this matchup, because you're exactly right, it removes all of their AB. The players that I've been playing with locally that have been trying to play it have essentially come to the conclusion you need Aether Sync if you want to get the mech off against Iyslander. But the better idea is that you just don't get the mech suit off against Iyslander, and you play a fair boost game. We're going to push 0 here, but we're going to take 2 of their cards next turn. Excuse me. The sentence I just said made no sense. We're going to take 2 damage there. I love fusing Ice Veins especially when they have Insidious Chill Triggers on them. It's one of the most powerful things our deck can do. Signal Jammer, huh? Not very good against Kano. Not super relevant against me. Going into this turn cycle with life totals almost to equity, they're just playing Techlocore. They have one blue in hand. What does our turn look like? Pitching to Coronet? Attacking with Brothers in Arms? This hand doesn't do anything. Well, let's cash in on at least 2 damage pushed, plus a life gain. What's going on here? Choosing to take it seems kind of sus. Not much else we can do. We've got a Techlocore and a Pounder. This looks like a Coronet Peak arsenaling Blizzard, trying to just counter spells their Techlocore resources with a sink in hand. It's not fantastic, but this is one of those batten down the hatches kind of turns until we draw a Fused Ice Vein, and then we just hold 3 cards anyways. Thank you, Wardley. We're 2-0. Let's see how long we can keep the undefeated train going. They gave us a blue there. This is not a Fused Ice Vein. It is one of our power cards, though. We can respond to Techlocore at the start of the turn, since it's beginning of action phase. We're just going to immediately eat those Techlocore resources. Waiting on our opponent to decide if they want to pay for this Blizzard. Not sure how difficult of a decision it could be. They already have 2 resources. Guess they're just trying to remap their turn, knowing that the taps might be a Frostbite and a resource more intense than they expected. This hand is interesting. It has simultaneously 2 of our most powerful cards against Dash in Hypothermia and CLF. I think we're more interested in getting down CLF because it lasts for more than a single turn cycle. So reasonably happy to pitch Hypo back into the deck, Arsenal CLF. Let's try to dig for something more significant by sinking this Ice Eternal. Although that may be a touch greedy. Not fantastic. Still a blue 3 block. Not super sad to draw it. That Frosting is probably just getting blocked with this turn cycle though. Another red 0 to 60. Boost smashed. Technical core number 2 did grant go again. Interesting. They may just be loading the pistol after this and shooting for 2. At which point we barely drop below them in terms of life parity. We get to play the CLF in response to technical core on their next turn. Yeah, just pistol follow-up. They're almost at a pounder and core, and a dash with no items is significantly less scary. So I think we're in a pretty good position for this game state. Especially only having spent 1 Ice Vein from the deck so far. And our Tunic is up, which means that we get to send Moon as we play this Channel 8 Frigid next turn. I mean, we're definitely playing it. Just thinking about what I want to do with this red ice bolt. I got a little bit distracted with this game. To circle back to your question, Philip, the Fi matchup is not fantastic for us. They have a couple of things that can kind of insulate them from our disruption, namely Belittle. So you kind of want to dig to your Ice Veins, and especially your Channel 8 Frigids and Blizzards, before they can find the majority of their Belittles. Really kind of hamper their turns as much as possible. Man, they are banishing a lot of their good boost cards. This Ice Bolt is getting blocked with this turn cycle, by the way. We're going to pitch the Frosting to Coronet, so that CLF stays around. And we'll be arsenaling the Cold Snap. Oof. They're pitching a blue to pistol. Let's see if they have a blue in hand. I doubt it, because they would have just played that throttle. Okay, I am interested in this opponent's choices in taking arcane damage willy-nilly. Yeah, no problem, Philip. Hopefully we can get a game so I can kind of show you in practice what I'm talking about. Discarding throttle. Hey, there's a fused Ice Vein. This chill is kind of tempting to get down. No boost? Interesting. No boost means no Blizzard. Trying a Red Hail, which we're going to be happy to slap down and just block with here. Chose to let their arsenal be frozen, so let's push. Probably just gonna block it. Yeah. Okay. So I kind of lied about how we were blocking with that Red Hail. it may be pitched to the yellow ice vein in order to keep Channel Lake out. The alternative is not having an arsenal next turn cycle, but I think we want to put this blue hail in arsenal to push some damage. And we're so close to our opponent in life total that I'm pretty okay taking 5 here, especially when our opponent has no items. It's not a super scary board from dash. So we get to overpitch and fuse, triggering chill, and presenting 5 arcane damage on our opponent's turn. We're going to get some reasonable damage output this turn cycle. Really wish Tunic was up so that we could send Waning Moon here as well. Strip 2 blues from them, including a Pounder, which they're importantly not playing. That's huge. That's saving a lot of life for us. Our opponent is just playing high octane. I wonder if they're hoping to draw a blue. This hand is awesome. We get to play the Insidious Chill, Arsenal the Hypo, and push 5 right here. It's just going to life total parity. And our opponent just passes the turn. I really don't understand what they were trying to do with that high octane there. It seemed like a very greedy play. So Channel Light is going away, but we're arsenaling our other power card for the matchup, and we're developing our board with just a really gross card. We've only seen really just 2 Ice Veins, 2 out of 6. We're getting into the deck. There's a reasonable chance we draw another next hand. We don't. We draw another CLF. Things are going very well for us this game in terms of draws. Equipment have -1 defense while defending this combat chain. That's fine. I wasn't really planning on blocking with equipment this combat chain. We want to Arsenal CLF. We want to present 6 damage on our next turn, because our opponents are likely to just take it, thinking we don't have really significant disruption, and then we hit him with the CLF out of nowhere. Take away, go again. I really should be doing this in resolution step, but unless this is some like strange pummel dash, there's nothing that they can actually do during reactions. So it's worth the shortcut to, at least when playing online, to just get it out immediately. And that's going to be Dash's turn, because that Scrabble Pulse loses go again from the hypothermia. Interesting, they have pistol items in. Not really sure what this Dash's plan was. Oh, this hand's beautiful. The only sad part is we have to pitch the Emeritus Scolding. It's honestly not that big of a deal though, because we get to fuse an Ice Vein, rip all the cards. Yep, we'll catch you around, Philip. The VOD will be available if you want to watch this as a video later, on demand. We're not blocking this. Our hand is way too good. Oh, thank you. opponent seems perplexed by this channel like frigid. They may just be locked out of game actions if they have a red in hand. Can't even load pistol. Since the next thing they want to do costs 2 more resources between CLF and the Frostbite. Waiting for other players to use an action. Oh. Are they rage quitting? I don't really want to claim victory. I'd like to finish out this game. Let's give them a few more minutes. Yep. Okay, cool. They're back. So they're signaling to me that they have a red in hand, since they're not loading pistol, unless they're afraid of the damage from this waning moon. They did have a red in hand. They had one of the best new Dynasty cards. Unfortunately not getting played at a significant boost number when we have a channel lake out. This Ice Vein is going to be super insulting because it's going to put them to 1 card in hand between itself and the 2 Insidious Chill Triggers. Let's see, the Chill Triggers will go off first. We may Arsenal the Ice Bolt here because it's +1 reach. We may be looking to kill our opponent on their turn. Yeah, let's start lunging. Their hand is just going to be essentially non-resistant after this. So arsenaling the clunkier, more expensive card. Or they decide to concede. Yep. Also checks out. Cool. I'm out of water, and that's a 3-game set. I will be right back, chat, and we will get some, at least 1, maybe 2 more games in after that. I'll see you in a bit. Alright, we're back. Not a long break, but a good break. Let's see if we can continue the trend of unique opponents. It's kind of nice to not be playing against the same thing over and over again. So let's see, tonight we've seen Viserai, Dash, and an Azalea. We are currently at 7-0 live on the stream between today and the previous live stream, which you can go watch on my Twitch. Did that one very on the fly. It's a little stuffed, but still good stuff. We are going to continue the trend of unique heroes. Interesting. I think I want to go first. I see the strong argument for going second and setting tempo, but I'm too tempted by the possibility of free board state. You know what they say? It's free real estate. As far as sideboarding goes, Command and Conquer out. Our opponent is just trying to play their arsenal as an instant in response to us playing Command and Conquer. Sink below out. Very inflexible, especially if our opponent is not on bully, and then it's really awkward because they just probably don't have any real attack actions. We do leave Fyendal's Fighting Spirit in. The raw efficiency is very good in the mirror, which is essentially just a giant math problem about who is more efficient. Our go wide disruption out. Our opponent is unlikely to present anything except star for a star that has go again. That's 60 cards. Equipment, we want to make sure to present Crown of Providence. We never want to pitch to Coronet Peak, because it's just throwing away resources that could block Arcane. We also have Alluvian Constellus and Metacarpus nodes to get us up to AB4. And that's the deck in the mirror. I can't wait to lose miserably. This is very interesting. We're definitely developing this amulet device. Our opponent presents Coronet Peak. Oh, hey, it's Underscore. Welcome. I know you. I assume I know you. So we get to develop this amulet, and then I think rather than arsenaling on the first turn, we're going to plop down this Channel 8 Frigid. Just such a power card in this matchup, where those two reds clumped together in the second cycle are going to be nasty. Channel 8 Frigid, extreme power card in this matchup. The deck is kind of built around exactly paying for things that cost 3 or 0. It does look like Underscore is on a bit more of a bully list with E-Strike, which is one of those more efficient attacks. Choosing to buff power. We're going to block 3 here, put our Ice Eternal on the bottom where we want it for second cycle, and present the red Ice Vein. Probably arsenaling the Chill, which means CLF will die, but we're going to get an Ice Vein off at our opponent, which is pretty reasonable. This matchup, when your opponent does have more of the attack actions than you, can be considerably unfavored, so I don't have high expectations going into this. When you play primarily Arcane, and your opponent has Alluvian Constellus, and because your opponent is not presenting the same Arcane spells, discarding their own red Ice Vein, because they're playing attack actions, your opponent's going to get more value out of Constellus over the course of the game, and that hurts you as the Arcane player a lot. Fighting Spirit good, Channel 8 Frigid good, this hand is straight fire. Opponent has Fighting Spirit as well. Interesting. So we can develop Chill, play our own Fighting Spirit, Arsenal CLF. That means we have to eat 7 here. Not ideal. Probably worth the life gambit though. Prefer to put our damaging spells on the bottom. because while our opponent's fighting spirit was worth 7, ours is worth 8 since we are lower life. The cold snap is fine. Yep, we are going to, unfortunately... What? Nope, not what I meant to do. Okay, we need to start making up this life deficit. Oh my! Yeah, so this is straight bully. Kind of unfortunate with the draws we've been getting, but not sure what we can do. We want to stick this E-pot. We'd also love to put these hexes down. Definitely not going to get both on the board right now, unfortunately. I think playing the CLF was a mistake. We don't have a good use for it on our turn. A good pitch outlet, I should say. What we need is another fused ice vein. I'm throwing, guys. I don't know what I'm doing. We're at half our opponent's life total. This is bad. Kind of hoping that we get thrown arcane here. Nope, they are keeping their 5-card hand. This is not what I meant when I said I wanted to draw a fused ice vein. Oh my god, all these wounded bulls. Leak 2. Play yellow ice vein. Kinda want to keep every card in this hand. I can see the argument for sinking Brain Freeze there and trying to luck into another Ice Blue to keep CLF out. The issue is at 14 we're getting dangerously close to kill range and our opponent is still at 30. So we're going to try to take as many cards from them as possible, but it's not looking good. Hopefully this helps us wrench tempo back for the rest of the game. We could crack this amulet. Because we have another one to play immediately. I kind of like that, especially because Channel 8 is going away this turn. so rough that they lost 0 because this was a yellow ice vein, so they just pitched to AB4. Got a chill out of their hand. Hey, our Heart of Fyendal is live at least. Alright, 15 life deficit. Let's go. Where... okay, so we both get a chill down this turn. We hope that our opponent does not have a fused ice vein to accompany that chill. And then, because this chill is just a blue in our hand, we kind of want to move to end the turn. Our opponent letting us. Arsenal Polar Blast, and we would love to play this Fighting Spirit next turn. Buff power, so they're attacking for 7. We are happy with the state of our chills. We want to arsenal this Cold Snap preferably. So we're going to dig for another block 3 card. Perfect. And then we would love to swing Waning Moon, because it potentially denies our opponent an arsenal. Or it does 3 damage. Denies arsenal. Okay. I'm pretty happy to keep my opponent from arsenaling Chain of Light Frigid, personally. If we take 4 here, we go to 11. Our opponent's doing a 29 from the Frost Hex and Frostbite that they have. Importantly, they did not activate Constellous Moon because they haven't played a non-attack to break that Frostbite. We're definitely playing FFS on our turn. And then we probably want to arsenal Cold Snap, which means we can only afford to block 3 here, unfortunately. Trying to arrest as much tempo as possible. Hopefully we draw into a red Ice Vein. It's exactly what we need after this turn to really get back into this game. Just jumping for 5, taking 2. Oh, and they have their own red Ice Vein. This is bad. This is pretty bad. This looks like Energy Potch Cold Snap, trying to dig up an extra card. This is our opponent's second red Ice Vein. Also played 2 Bulls and an FFS, as well as 2 E-Strikes. We're eating through most of their big attacks. Have to start blocking a little bit more conservatively. Opponent thinking real hard here about, yeah, there's the Constellus before the Frostbite resolves. Very smart. Now what they should do is let the Frostbite resolve and now activate Waning Moon before I get to draw a card from this Cold Snap. Instead, letting me choose to draw. We're discarding for sure this Red Hail. Yeah, I think we just have to bite the bullet and take a bunch of damage this turn cycle. We would like to pay. Now, can they kill us? Because we have just been out of this game for a while. Thinking about it. They have a Hex. That's pretty good. Okay, we've got to stop it, arcane. Uh-oh. Having connection issues. There we go. Lost 0. We eat one from the Frostbite. Hand doesn't do anything. Opponent has the yellow Ice Vein in with chill. Yuck. We'll even try to arsenal. We would like to arsenal our own blue Ice Vein, try to wrench some tempo back. Definitely paying. This amulet is not getting out, unfortunately. And our turn is just going to be passing, assuming that we have to pitch this Emeritus Scolding to stop arcane damage. With only one Hex out, even a big Ice Terminal isn't really a reasonable out here, unfortunately. Especially when our opponent is at 24. We now have the Alluvian advantage at least, which means that if we tax their hand considerably, there's no surprise 3 arcane. Still, it's not looking great. Like I mentioned earlier, Bully just a bit favored in... not even a bit, significantly favored in the mirror, because those attacks are efficient and do not work with Constellus. We're going to stop all this. We'll consider a leak of damage from the chill. Ugh, pushing Moon as well. If we take 4, we go to 5. We're dead to if our opponent sneezes. But I don't know what else we can do if we want to ever do something significant in this game again. Gotta play to your outs, right? I'll be impressed if our opponent actually has a play on their turn. Beyond just passed, it's hard to do much with only 2 cards. Okay, this is a reasonable hand. Yeah. Perfect. So we get to yoink both of those cards with the chills before the Ice Fang even touches our opponent. And then, what, send Hail on our turn, Arsenal Frosting, and we have something that resembles Tempo in this game again. With this life deficit and being so low against an opponent with Storm Striders, probably doesn't matter, but at least we're getting somewhere. Oh no, disaster. Oh, if this is fused from our opponent. Yeah. Chill is our opponent's last card in hand. Are we supposed to Strider in our own Ice Fang here? No, because we can't fuse it, so it doesn't actually do anything. Yuck. Ugh. So we play this Frosting, represents 5 damage. Our opponent can activate their Constellus, but they need to do it right now if they want to. Yep, which they do. Are they going to choose to pitch at any point? Is this a $1 million question? No, we don't want to pay, we want to discard. That FFS is just not happening this turn cycle, unfortunately. We're also losing our entire hand to this Ice Fang. We're damn close to it. Maybe we can sight our opponent out and make them think that we have blue in hand. Nah, we don't. Yeah, we gotta stop it. And now we just die to whatever they want to Strider in on their turn. Never really in contention for that game, unfortunately. We focused a bit too much on developing board pieces, and we took way too much damage in order to do it. As soon as I brought up Exo, streak was broken. My own hubris was my downfall. Strangely, the mirror is one of the hardest matchups for this Boomer list. For all the reasons I mentioned about the attack actions just outvaluing when your opponent's getting value from Constellus and you aren't. Let's run again. You know what? No restriction. Let's see if we get something funky. Azalea. Oh man, we're breaking all kinds of streaks. Yeah, let's rematch. All right. The most relevant meta match going into ProQuest season, guys. It's Azalea. This deck is severely underrated. You should actually respect this deck, although it may not be tier 1. Stream unlocking 20-second delay. That is good to know. I've got it set to low latency, so I can try to talk to chat. What was our last cut? One amulet. And then default equipment. Went kind of fast through sideboarding there, since we already talked about it earlier. In which matchups is Boomer better than Bully? It's an interesting question, Sergey. I think it has a bit not easier time, but a oh man, he's going for like dominate turn 0, huh? Hold on. Ten dominates a big number. Are we giving up Gauntlet? No, we're just blocking with this Brothers in Arms and taking 6. Kinda sucks. I'll be honest, Sergey, I'm not sure that there are any matchups where Boomer is significantly better than Bully. I think that they are both very similar power level and have essentially the same good and bad matchups. It's a philosophy difference between the two decks. Boomer does struggle in the mirror against Bully, which is kind of the one knock on the deck. If only it was Respite. This is an ongoing argument that Papaya and I have had about Blue Brothers in Arms versus Respite. As Respite gets around Dominate better, but Brothers in Arms is a bit more flexible since it is a blue. This is interesting. If this was turn 0, this Hex would be fine to play. But it's not, it's turn 1, and we'd really like to disrupt Levi in some manner. So instead of committing this Hex, we're going to Ice Eternal, paying 4, and fusing. This is 2 Frostbites and 2 Arcane, which is going to mess with his turn, should mess with his turn pretty significantly. Thinks he can work through 3 Frostbites. We're going to get to Fuse and Ice Vein, and Arsenal or Cold Snap. This is pretty good. Oh, that's pretty gross. Never really went to Azalea into a Sigil in your arsenal, but it's still a free card, and Death Dealer was unused that turn. Oh my god, gross. But ending the turn with a face-up Bolton shot in Arsenal is interesting. So all of that work, and end up just presenting 7? That was a very robust turn for 3 Frostbites, but we'll crack back with an Ice Vein, and for sure push some damage. This is a pretty sturdy start for Azalea though, I'll be honest. Our Tunic is not up, and Azalea has a Arsenal, so let's try to mess with it by arsenaling this Cold Snap. Just leading with the Bolton shot. Smells like a ring razor. I would love to present this Ice Vein fusing with this Channel Lake Frigid. Tunic isn't up, but unfortunately means we're playing this Cold Snap by pitching a red. Sigil punish. Okay. Nothing else, not the worst. This currently does not have Go Again. Oh, no, maybe this hand just doesn't do anything else. He didn't activate Tunic, which means he'd have to pitch his last card to play Rain Razor and give this Go Again during reactions. Oh my god, still at 40 after all the Sigil life gain. This is brutal. I think we would like to block 2 here. Pitch and swing to our moon. Assume that there's no blue. There isn't. We push 2 life. This is still a larger life deficit than I would like. Let's try to even it out a bit. Just taking it. We did have to show that we have the CLF. Oh, this hand is so awkward. Sand is incredibly awkward. We actually have to actually wait until an attack is presented so that we can sink this Aether Ice Vein, try and draw into a second Ice Blue. We do get there. But really, really not ideal stuff. Cash in Tunic just to stop damage, huh? Actually, I'm not sure what this Tunic cache is for. Uh, Talking to Arachne specifically, I have not played enough games as Iyslander against Arachne to be super confident on exactly how the matchup feels. Not super impressed at first glance. Um, I think they kind of have to choose between bottoming either our reds or our combo cards, and like the deck is kind of half and half. Yo, Pitch Stack, welcome. Oh, are you talking about how you were playing in Arachne pitch? Um, but since like both half of our game plans are good against Arachne, uh, they don't have enough blues to stop all of our tempo damage, and we have a more coherent combo endgame than they do. So they kind of pick their poison about which cards they want to bottom and banish, and we just play the other game plan essentially, and the mashup's fine. I think in general Arachne is good, not great. It struggles specifically against Iyslander and Oldhim, which are two of the biggest decks in the meta, which puts it in a really awkward spot going into the Dynasty ProQuest season in terms of like, top of the meta decks. I guarantee you it will be out there winning ProQuests. I've only tested Spider-Man just for a few games. Gotcha, Pitch. I guarantee you will see Arachne's winning ProQuests. But I'm worried about like its ability to top 8 something like a Calling. But also, it's still very young in the hero's life cycle. It's entirely possible we just haven't found the ideal build yet, and those matchups definitely could be shored up. It's just that all of Arachne's cards are so fair, right? It doesn't do anything inherently broken or busted. What does this turn look like? Man, we're down 10 life. This turn looks like being super greedy and sinking this red ice bolt. Definitely not what I intended. It's just pretty funny. Yeah, this yellow ice thing doesn't do anything. Cool. So now we get to Coronet with the Ice Eternal and Arsenal to channel Lake Frigid, and we leaked no damage this turn cycle. Oh my god. This 49 life Azalea. Making me tear my hair out over here, man. Okay. That's wrong. I should have pitched Heps there in case we need to. Abandon ship and not actually send this yellow ice vein. Oh, this... Yeah, this might have really messed with him. Okay. I'm fine with that. If only I had my tunic still, lol. It is awkward. It's an unfortunate misplay. Although, you know, tunic is at 2 already. We probably would have found a alternative use for that tunic before this turn. Stream is very hurting for an amulet or an insidious chill. Something that can really rip some cards. Oh man. Might be a quad red hand that doesn't actually do anything except fire Remorseless from our opponent. There's the Ammo Device. There's the Remorseless that I expected. Don't think Channel Lake is going to stay out for an extra turn. Pitch, block, play. Seems fine. Remorseless does 3, we go to 14. This is fine. Yeah, not actually developing this amulet, but we are going to sneak some damage through here. Yeah. And then attack our opponent's arsenal with this Command and Conquer. So we kind of get to double dip on the utility of our opponent only having 1 card here. There's an alternative line here, which is that we just eat it. 6 functionally because we're going to play an action on our turn. Attack with CNC, Arsenal the Ice Bolt, because Tunic is up, then we get to present 6 more arcane on our opponent's turn. Hopefully after they've blocked with 2 or more cards on the CNC. Can we afford to go to 11 against Azalea? We still have Coronet Peak and Tunic. Yeah, let's be a little bit greedy. We're safe from reactions here because they have the Frostbite. This is a block for 6. Trying another Command and Conquer. It is unfortunately too late in the game to get this chill down. Which means that we're going to be hurting on Frostbites next turn. Tunic is up. This may be a blockout kind of turn. Oh, lost 3 life, huh? Probably loses 3 more. We're probably done coronetting this stream. I could see this being a block with Emeritus plus coronet, and then attack with CNC. Yep. We still take 3. Our opponent has no arsenal. That's really rough. In that case... Nah, putting our opponent to 10 is fine. Either putting them to 10 or eating cards. We're gonna go to 7 after the Remorseless trigger. This is scary stuff. I'm surprised that got a block at all. Maybe it won't. Okay. Putting our opponent to 13, starting to get in kill range if we can survive. Sand is not great for surviving. There's a no block and 2/2 blocks. Oh, this might be a big dominated arrow. You know, Levi apologizing there for the misordering, but it was so fast I didn't even notice the undo, to be honest. Just 7. Just 7. This is where things get really awkward. The Hail is the best card to Arsenal here. Second is Polar Blast, but this silly aimlet device doesn't block. This is for sure being blocked with. I think what we need to do is unfortunately block 7 here and just tuck this amulet in Arsenal. Oh, we're in trouble. He's out for blood. Oh, this is bad. Oh no, are you kidding? This is 4/7. It's +2 from itself and +1 from Bullseye Bracers. We're gonna go to 1. Always worth just arsenaling this amulet. This may be stridering in an Ice Vein. And then we still probably die. So what we're gonna do is let them resolve Tunic, pitch a card to activate Death Dealer. Then we can Strider infuse this Ice Vein. Horribly overpitching for it. 5, 8, leaves them 5. We can eat 2 cards between the Amulet and the Ice Vein. Regardless, this is a position we never want to find ourselves in, where we're stridering to stay alive. We would love to... Nah, they're just gonna keep the arrow. If it's 1 cost and they draw a red, then they can't fire it and we live for the turn. then we arsenal the hail and we're in business. Although that only presents 5, but we're presenting 8 this turn. No, probably just 5. This is all no bueno. Nothing good about this turn cycle. I'm sure my opponent would rather I didn't stay alive. Okay. Is it a 1-cost arrow that they have in hand? Oh. Yeah, of course. Striding in Ice Fang doesn't, Well, we're gonna go out in style. And then promptly die. Whew! That was rough. 49 life Azalea. And presented dominate for 10 on turn 0. Very stark contrast to the first game that we played. Very stark contrast. Let's try to end on a better note. Get at least one more game in before I call it a night. How are we doing? Yeah, it's fine. Okay, we can close out on a Viserai. Good luck and have fun. Who wants to go first? We hate when our opponents get free rune chance. Yeah, both had good turn zeros when we played. You started chill in our other one. Yeah, that's very true. Very true, Levi. Oh, definitely leaving CLF in against Viserai. We are taking out the bolts, the FFS, the pots, sinks, and a lonely Aether Ice Vein. Make sure that our equipment is correct. Yep. Started with a Vis stream. Let's try to close out with a Vis stream. I'd like to end on a win. Opponent taking considerable time to sideboard. Player Ice Cream Mistress for ProQuest, but I'm testing some Lexi this week. Lexi Pipstat, interesting. That was one of the first CC decks I ever built, or first decks I ever built was Lexi. But I don't know, Ranger Hand's whiffing, just, it's not quite for me. Always having that Waning Moon is, the consistency is a bit more my style. This hand is incredible. It doesn't add anything to the board, unfortunately. So I'm gonna do, wait a minute, whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, that's not Rosetta Thorn. I'm pretty sure I selected competitive CC. This might just be an interesting brew. This is even better than coordinating yourself, especially when the card quality in your hand is this good. It's just playing Unfused Brain Freeze. Which means we just get to see the 4 cards that our opponent starts with, and we have perfect information going into their first turn. Oh, this is a This is a funky Viserai, I see. Well, it is, yeah, I could see it being OTK Viz. We do not have Stowers in, but they only have AB2, so we should be fine. The Oasis is going to be an absolute pain and a half for this red Ice Vein, but the rest of their hand doesn't really do anything, so it's going to be interesting. Uh-huh. Alright. Well, that's a waste of an Oasis. Well, now we don't know what half their hand is. Half of it is Blue Mavrian and Red Shrill. Playing the Mauve. We would love to play this Ice Vein next turn. Let's give our opponent Frostbite and draw a card. Looks like we are going to play this Ice Vein next turn. Because there's no way I'm blocking this Shrill for 7. So YouTube chat, a solid 10 minutes to load. Is there really being issues with chat? I'll have to look into it. See if it's something wrong on my end. It's only a blue Shrill. The on-hit is not super relevant, so I'm inclined to let it hit. Okay, this is just funky Viserai. How are you gonna... Oh, I'm such a fool. Oh man, it's too late to be playing. Why did I swing Moon? I'm supposed to be building up Illuvian counters. Alright. Throw any percent speedrun, anybody? $12 life down, let's catch up. Another fused Ice Vein, lovely. Unfortunately, CNC is a bit awkward. Is this just Runeblood Incantation, Swing, Sword? Let's give him a Frostbite. See if we draw into another blue. If we don't, we can play the CNC. If we do draw, definitely going to play the Ice Vein in that case. Yeah. Just choosing to end the turn. We can either push damage or take their arsenal. CNC pitching propellor was a consideration there to make sure we could continue to fuse the Ice Vein. Okay, our opponent's showing us that they have Blessing of Occult. That's good to know. Uh-huh. So there's two lines here. We can play the Ice Vein and just hold the CNC in hand, or We can play Polar Blast, pitching Aether Hail, and then play CNC, probably with Dominate. We have information that our opponent's arsenal is Blessing of the Cult, which kinda just F. Okay, I don't know what that means. Kinda just fine with them having that card, so I think I would rather push damage here. Polar Blast is just too useful to have in arsenal. That's pretty good. Alright, now this is super sus that we didn't pitch to Moon there. Oh, gross. Yeah, I agree. Blessing isn't the world's worst problem. It gives us an opportunity to respond at the beginning of the turn. Of course, Runeblood Incantation does the same way. And it's arcane-based damage. Uh-huh. Oh, they're gonna play the Blessing and make 2 rune chants. Cool. Is double CNC actually good, Chris? I think it's kind of really awkward. If only we had a Quicken token. Alright. Now you're getting a Waning Moon in the face. Alright, our opponent has 4 rune chants. Probably having to stop a lot of damage next turn. Like really a lot of damage next turn. So I'm more inclined to put Frosting in Arsenal than Ice Bolt here, especially when we're like functionally so ahead on life. So we're gonna play a CNC over pitching and Arsenal the Frosting. Yeah, it's very awkward. It's just losing a card in this turn cycle essentially. Oh, are we getting blocks? Kind of expected just eat 6, lose Arsenal here. Oh wow, we get best of both worlds. Our opponent has decided to half block your Command and Conquer. So they lose life and Arsenal, unless they have one of those Fate Foreseens we saw turn 0. What is going on? This is... Guys, this is not Viserai, this is spicy Viserai. Oh, okay, that's actually pretty good. I don't know if it's, like, truly good, but it's pretty good. This is so much arcane that's trying to come at my face next turn. God, I hope I draw 4 blues and kill their creepers. Let's put Bolt first. Yeah. Give you a Frosty. 10 rune chants. That was a pretty wild play from the opponent. Oh my god, it is semi-OTK Vis. Huh. Guys, I feel like I'm in big danger. What does my hand do? It sends a Command and Conquer. Clearly they're playing D-Reacts, so that actually is just like kind of relevant. We've seen Fates and Sinks. And it arsenals an Ice Eternal. Heart of Findle does nothing here. Impending Doom. Wait, this person keeps typing F in chat. I am a wizard. I do think a bit about my turns. Yeah, I think we just have to... If they're playing OTK or semi-OTK... Impending Doom... Oh, like the new Looming Doom card? It's interesting. I mean, our opponent did... This is the most impatient opponent we've seen. Guess their hand does nothing. We have no response. Oh boy. Do we just play Ice Journal for x equals 0 here? So we can Ice Vein on our turn, Arsenal Emeritus, our opponent's getting relatively down on life. Or we play x equals 0. Nah, yeah, we're just getting rid of this. Pretty sure we've had 0 Olivia encounters this game, which is interesting. Oh, is the play Arsenal Ice Vein? Probably not, right? If our opponent is OTKing, we want to kill as fast as possible. I would kill for a Scour right now. Activating Tunic. I have a handful of blues. Let's just swing your Reaping Blade. Oh my god. Nope. What is this, Mordred Quillhand? I'm not complaining if it is. Alright, we're back to the start of the turn. I have no response to Mordred. It is Mordred Quillhand. Alright, our opponent now at AB1. We can burn them for 7 this turn, if we want. And then Arsenal another Emeritus. They're playing sloppy, so they showed us that that's a Runeblood incantation, which costs a whopping 3. Though it might be pitched to AB here. Yeah, it's just pitched to AB here. So our opponent to 13. We're getting close. Especially considering that, like, they can't just swing sword and threaten lethal at this point. And they're at AB1. Coronet not super relevant here because they have Tunic up. And we're not arsenaling Disruption. I'm half tempted to just play Brain Freeze so that we know what's in their hand. It's weird all around. No, we should try to eat Tunic here. Is this a Brain Freeze or Coronet turn? I'm not sure, Chris. I think with AB1, I don't think we really care what's in their hand. I think we want to try to eat their Tunic, because I don't think the game's going to last another 3 turns. Or they give us an entire card here. Yep. You got it, bud. Alright, we've got 11 in hand here. Are they going to become for another read? Slash Blessing of the Cult? Nope, they're getting an attack action. Is this the turn? This might be the turn. This is the turn. They are threatening lethal. But let's see. They're presenting 30. We're at 27. We're gonna block just enough to live, throw this hail at them, and then have Emeritus. Yep, I think we still have this game just fine. So we prevent 1. We take the other 20. Where? Oh, this is so annoying to click through. Because we're going to block 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on the 9th blade. So we take 1 from the 9th blade. And 13 more from these chants. We are definitely living through this turn. Isn't that so nice compared to in real life where you have to like shortcut and just say take 13? Why would you ever want to do that? Creepers are gone. I don't see how there's any trips unless they pummel this. You know what? If they pummel this, good on them. Yeah, he's dropped me now. I'm gonna force 4 damage through him the next turn and guaranteed put him to 9. Or my opponent is just greedy and is choosing to eat all the damage. Alright, this game's over. We need to draw... Oh yeah. Now, they did pitch an Oasis Respite earlier in the game. So maybe something funky happens here. Or they just swing Reaping Blade. And we don't even remotely die this turn. Uh-huh. Let me just confirm. 1, 2, 3. Kind of want to bait the Oasis out of them, just go another turn cycle. Hey Byron, welcome. You caught me just at the end of the stream. Uh, this is definitely the weirdest game of the night, for sure. But we just get to whittle them down by 4 more. Try to bait an oasis out of them. Yeah, this is... Oh my god, they were really expecting bully, huh? This is where you get little advantages as Boomer, is you will have people that like unironically present a deck full of defense reacts against you. And, you know, it kind of makes... Guys. Guys, we almost got pummeled last turn. Oh my god, that would have been... I would have rolled over and died from my hubris actually being called out. It's incredible. Well, unfortunately for our opponent, they're, as I like to say, super dead. Not just dead. I want a tunic. It doesn't matter. It doesn't. That's my favorite part when you're just like laying down confirmed kill lethal on the board and your opponent's like, "Oh no, I can tune it. Let's rewind." It's like it actually doesn't change the outcome of this game. Yep. Oh. Nope, they're thinking real hard about how they can survive. Oh, they do have a Sigil of Solace. Here's the fun part. That's a layer on the stack. We get to respond to that, so it's never actually going to resolve. This is the patented Red Hail on top of the Sigil of Solace layer. Yep. Done that one before. Always fun way to end a game. So that was fair. Like, the opponent did actually... They had a play that they thought would help them, right? They were still dead, because I could, like, swing Waning Moon. I had more than 2 cards in hand. But, that was pretty fun. It was a pretty fun way to go out. I think we're going to call it there for the night. Thank you all for stopping by, and I hope you enjoyed. I know that I was playing a little sloppy, but always playing a little sloppy. Always looking to get better. How do you think the Bravo should have played at Worlds? I think he should not have pummeled on that last turn. He should have just the Sigil before the pummel. I don't even think he should have played the pummel. I think he just should have played the Sigil and arsenaled the pummel probably. At the very least, yes, he should have played the Sigil before pummel. I'm not sure. I'd have to go back and look, like, if I would still have... I don't think I had a confirmed kill if he just plays the Sigil and he sandbags the pummel. I don't remember what color pummel it was. But, I mean, like, he clearly knew what he was doing. I think it was probably just, like, in that moment, a suboptimal line. Oceans, I'm sorry. Yeah, you got here just in time. The VOD should be available immediately as soon as I end the stream, so you can just like go straight to the YouTube page and start watching back from the beginning. But I think we're gonna call it there for the night, at least. This is a lot of fun. It's pretty nice, chill vibes, and it's keeping me on my toes. Like, thank you, Levi, for the call outs and some of the suboptimal plays earlier. I will definitely be doing this again, and I hope that you all will follow and stop by in the future. Bye, everybody.